Hi there. Good day. I am Janius Regal, the leader of Group 9. Today, my group and I will discuss and explain the topic about Johannes Gutenberg invented the printing press using movable metal type. Proceeding to the overall structure of our presentation, first is the brief biography of Johannes Gutenberg. Second is the invention of printing press using movable metal type. Third is the explanation on how the movable metal type works. Fourth is the purpose of the invention. Fifth is the disadvantage of Johannes Gutenberg's invention. And lastly, the impact of Johannes Gutenberg's invention to the world. Johannes Gutenberg. In full name, Johann Ginzfleisch zur Leden zu Gutenberg, born on the 14th century in Mainz, Germany, and died probably February 3, 1468, also in Mainz, Germany. Johannes Gutenberg's work as an inventor and printer would have a major impact on communication and learning worldwide. He was the third son of Frau zum Ginzfleisch and his second wife, Else Werek zum Gutenberg, whose maiden name Johann later adopted. There is a little recorded history of this early life, but local records indicate he apprenticed as a goldsmith while living in Mainz.
Good day everyone, my name is Ms. Jessie Masinapo, and today I am going to discuss the Johannes Gutenberg invention of printing press using movable metal type. Around 1450, Johannes Gutenberg introduced the metal movable type printing press in Europe. Along with this innovation in casting the type based on a matrix and hand mold, Gutenberg was the first to create his type pieces from an alloy of lead, tin, and antimony, and these materials remained standard for 550 years. Instead of using wood blocks, Gutenberg used a metal instead. This became known as a movable type machine, since the metal block letters could be moved around to create new words and sentences. With this machine, Gutenberg made the very first printed book, which was naturally a reproduction of the Bible. Today, the Gutenberg Bible is an incredibly valuable, a treasured item for its historical legacy.
In Johannes Gutenberg printing press, it is a movable type that was arranged over the flat wooden plate. It called the lower platen. Ink was applied to the type and sheet of paper was laid on top. An upper platen was brought down to meet the lower platen. The two plates pressed to the paper and typed together and creating sharp images on the paper. This kind of wooden printing press could print 250 sheets per an hour. The printing press made it possible to produce books and other texts quickly and accurately and less expensively, which allows them to produce great numbers. Before the printing press, books belonged primarily to the upper classes. But with the books cheaper and more readily available to middle classes, could access all as well. This led to increase the literary education of the public. The development of printing press has been created with helping to usher the modern era by enabling to spread information across all levels of society.
The purpose of Johannes Gutenberg's printing press invention was to manufacture large numbers of books and to make production of printing fast and easier. Johannes came up with an idea to invent printing press using movable metal type, which its elements are thought to have a metal alloy that could melt readily and cool quickly to form durable, reusable type, and oil-based ink that could be made sufficiently thick to adhere well to metal type and transfer well to vellum or paper. And these features in his invention didn't exist in the European technique. That's why Gutenberg's printing press was considered a history-changing invention.
Johannes Gutenberg's invention of printing press in 1451 opened the line of communication throughout the world. However, pollution issues surrounding modern industrial printing and paper manufacturing have developed since Gutenberg's invention. The combination of toxic ink and bleaches used by some modern manufacturers can have adverse effects on surrounding environment. And these fumes can be harmful when inhaled. And when it comes to paper manufacturing toxins, the chemicals required to break down the ingredients of paper manufacturing emit fumes. Some of these chemicals have caused chronic respiratory allergy symptoms and can lead to more respiratory issues later in life.
Gutenberg's invention was profoundly important. It launches a revolution in printing. It allowed manuscripts and books to be mass-produced cheaply. The invention gave the ability for people to produce copies of music rather than copying the music notation by hand. Music was able to spread faster and more efficiently. Johannes Gutenberg's invention of movable type printing quickened the spread of knowledge, discoveries, and literacy in Renaissance Europe. As the saying goes, knowledge is power. The printing press helped disseminate knowledge wider and faster than ever before. It prints literary copies to the masses that helped increase literacy because more people had access to literature.